Hi, I'm Alexis, and this is my guide to the Forgotten Experiments. This fight has a total of 3 bosses that you fight one after the other. All 3 bosses have the ability Infused Strikes. This ability puts a debuff on the tanks that deals arcane damage that stacks after each strike. This can be removed if both tanks have Infused Strike and run into each other. However, this will cause an explosion and the whole raid will get a dot that causes damage every 2 seconds for 20 seconds, and this dot also stacks. Tanks should make sure that the explosion wears off the raid before removing their debuff and resetting their stacks. The first boss is Neldris. His abilities are Rending Charge. Random players are marked and the boss charges at these players, damaging them and anyone in their path, and leaving a bleed causing damage every second for 15 seconds. The marked players should go off to the side to make sure other players don't get hit by the charge. If you're not marked, stay out of the way. On Heroic, the bleeds are twice as long, so it's easier to accidentally stack it up, so make sure you're not in the path of the charge. Massive Slam. This is the boss frontal, so just avoid it. Bellowing Roar. An arcane circle forms around the boss. Run away before it explodes to avoid damage. The next boss is Thadrion, and his abilities are Unstable Essence. A random player will get the Unstable Essence debuff, which deals damage every 2 seconds, which stacks and increases the damage received with each stack. This can be dispelled and it will jump onto another player, resetting the stacks, so it never really goes away. Dispelling will also drop a large circle on the ground, which will explode and cause damage to anyone standing in it. On Heroic, an ad will spawn after the explosion. Nuke the ad as fast as possible as they deal raid-wide damage. The debuff should be dispelled when the damage is high, to also avoid spawning too many ads. I recommend using Bloodlust and cooldowns during this phase. If you have super high DPS and massive heals, you may be able to get away with not dispelling Unstable Essence and down the boss quickly. Volatile Spew. This throws a lot of white swirlies on the ground. Don't stand in them. Violent Eruption. The boss will channel this for 8 seconds, which will deal raid-wide damage. If any ads from the first ability are alive during this mechanic, they will also deal raid-wide damage, so try to nuke any ads before the boss channels Violent Eruption to avoid too much raid-wide damage. Healing cooldowns are a must during this phase. The last boss is Rionthus, and his abilities are Deep Breath. The boss flies through the air, breathing fire, crossing the room twice, so move out of the way. Temporal Anomaly. This is an orb that will slowly move towards the boss. Players can run into these orbs and bounce them away to stop them from reaching the boss. If they do reach the boss, he will get a shield that absorbs damage. Bouncing the orb will give you some damage, so take turns. Disintegrate. Random players will be hit with this ability, and apart from taking damage and getting slowed by 30%, they will deal damage to any players within 5 yards for 16 seconds. So if you're targeted, move away from others. On Heroic, the Unstable Essence will carry on into the 3rd boss phase, so remember to dispel when the damage is high, avoid the explosion, and nuke the ad down fast. It will also be handy to use Bloodlust at the start of the 2nd phase to go through this phase faster. And those are the boss abilities for the Forgotten Experiments. Be sure to check out my other boss guides. Good luck, and thank you for watching.